Well, we have a Geely Okavango here that is about to be remapped. So yes, it's starting. The Chinese cars are starting to be able to be remapped now. By the way, only select Chinese cars. So from what we can see is the Okavango and the Coolray have the same 1.5 turbo engine. So these we can remap. We've already done it. Some of the other Chinese cars, unfortunately, have not made it to our shores. The one with the particular engines was higher spec ones, usually from Cherry and GAC. Then again, we don't see a lot of them on the road anyway. So as of 2023, let's put this: Geely has the most and loudest presence among all the Chinese branded cars. So, and with a 1.5 liter turbo, it's not a wonder why I've driven one of these things. It's amazing. Even and after remapping, we should get about 30, 35 horses more, and with all the usual benefits, 40 to 50 newton meters torque, no more delay, slightly better mileage for an already supposedly good mileage car because it is a hybrid, I believe. So yes, it's a hybrid. We can still tune it. We are tuning, by the way, the gasoline side of things, not the electric side of things. That one, there's nothing we can do. So we making the gasoline engine a bit more powerful and a bit more fuel efficient. So what we're doing right now here is we're reading the ECU. So that little green line over there is the progress bar. So it started when I started talking. So this will take about 30 minutes probably to completely read the ECU, which is typical of what we find of most modern cars now. Before, reading an ECU takes 1 minute, 2 minutes. Now, 30, 40 minutes. Well, I guess there's just more stuff and more code crammed into one chip. So after we read the ECU, we're gonna do a baseline dyno for the car, and then we will tune from there. Okay, now what we're doing is we're writing the modified file back into the ECU. So as you can see, the connection is made through here. As our USB from the laptop plugs into the OBD port there. And the reason why it's called reflash is because the laptop treats the car's ECU as a separate flash drive. So writing a file is basically flashing it. It's basically comes from the term flash memory, which is basically what is inside your USB drive, which is inside your CPU, your car's ECU, which is inside also your phone. Inside is flash memory. So that means it's easily writable. You can read it, you can write it, you can delete it. So that's where the term reflash comes from. The term remap is because here's a, well, we don't want to disturb the rest of it, but here's a very, very short explanation here. So I can see this little part here. This little thing is called a map. This is so far I think the temperature, yeah, turbo pressure map. So there's a factor of degrees, and this is how much. Well, it's not how much boost, but it's basically an arbitrary number of what the limit is. It's not 4 psi, it's not 4 bar, it's nothing like that, but it's just an arbitrary number. But this thing is called a map. So there are probably about 20 to 30 of these things that we adjust. So that's why it's also called ECU remap, because you're adjusting each of the maps accordingly. And just to show you what the map looks like, it looks something like this. Just show you here. I think it's easier just to show you here in the computer here. So essentially, if when we're tuning, this is what we're tuning. So this is basically what a map is. When you open up the ECU in the editing program, so this is the map. These are the same thing. This is basically just a 3D representation of that. So you have X, you have Y, then you have the numbers here in the middle. So that's the same theory. You have X here and X here, and you have Y there, and then this is a graphical 3D representation. Some people like to tune this way, we like to do it this way. This is a 2D representation of what it is. So all these three things basically mean the same thing. And then all of these things, like say here, Spark Advanced High VTEC, Spark Advanced VTEC, Low VTEC, these are all maps. So not all of it, but most of it we edit. As you can see here, there's engine speed, there is pressure here. This is the map sensor. This is basically a Honda map. And this is this is spark plug timing. This is in degrees on how much degrees spark plug fires on top in relation to top dead center. So this is 25 degrees, 24 degrees, 23 degrees, so on and so forth. Pretty much the same thing happens with every car. You have fuel, you have spark, and on turbocharged cars like this, you also have boost, which we also altered. And the other map that a lot of people really want is the throttle map, because that's where the delay comes from. That we alter also. So again, it's about 20 to 30 of these things. So this is a very, very short shot of what the maps are, and there's a lot more. So that's basically what remapping is. We're changing the values inside here to optimize it and to give you more power and more torque. Okay, we're done with the Okavango, and then I have to explain the results because shit, 99 out of 100 people don't know how to read a dyno. So this red line is our stock power. Uh, this blue line and this purple line is our after remap. The reason why we're keeping the two lines and not just one is because this is like run number 6 already. So the intercooler is hot, and the transmission fluid is hot also. So to ideally, if we can let it cool down a little bit more, so after 30 minutes we'll do another run, we will get a combination of these two graphs, so the blue line and the purple line. So basically what happens here is this one. So you do this, trace it there, and then it goes down there. So you can ignore the blue here, this swirl here, because that's a transmission already not engaging fully because the fluid is hot. So anyway, how much horsepower do we get? The way you read this is like this. You get the difference from the red line and the purple line, basically up to here, up to 4 or 5 RPM. Then this little spike here, you get the blue line. So here we started at 30 horse, then we ended up at 60 horse, 50 horse, 90 horse, 70 horse, 110, 90 to 130, 110 to 135, so on and so forth. So what you do is you get the average of all of this plus this, and you're looking at around 30 horse on average gain. Horsepower, you have to understand, it's not one single number. It is a range because your car makes different horsepower at different RPM. So horsepower by itself is, let's say, 100 horses. That means absolutely nothing. You have to have a component of time there because horsepower means work over time. So you go back to the brochure when you buy your car. It's always there, horsepower at something something RPM. The M there is minutes. There always has to be a component. Oh, very simple. Go to your Meralco bill. Kilowatt per hour. See, there's always time component. That's what power is. So again, it's not a single number, it is a range of numbers. So if you want to be strict about it, you are getting 20 to 30 horses overall average with the remap. And aside from the usual things, there's no more delay because we got rid of the pedal delay. Drive normally as it should. You will see about 8 to 10% better mileage because one, your driving habit will change unconsciously. We'll get his feedback after he drives it. Sige. Yeah, mas that's eco mode, di ba? Yun. Ayan, normal na ba? Diretso lang, sige. Is it normal na? Saan mo nakasulat yan? Yung basta na mag-yellow. Oh, yan. Oh, that's normal mo. No? Sige. Oh, bira. Yep. This is what I mean, it changes your driving style. Boom, ito, bumibitaw ng sarili. Diba? Di mo namamalayan. Tapos bibitaw ka na. Dito ka. Doon din ang gagaling yung tipid kasi hindi ka masyado babad. So, less pedal equals less consumption. So, unconsciously, your right foot, uy, matulin. Automatic, aangat yan.
Manual na rin yung response niya.
Actually, yeah.
Mas madaling sumingit-singit.
Kasi the manual kasi naka-hold yung gear on the low gear. Ito mga to kasi, I think this is a 6-speed to, di ba? 7-speed. The problem with cars like this one is pagkausad mo, first gear, kaya rin, maski 10 lang takbo mo, kakambyo na niya kagad sa second. Okay. Tapos pag mga 30 na, third gear na siya. So pag dinian mo, the-downshift ulit siya ng dalawa. So that downshifting has a very, very slight delay. Pwede na, balik ka na dito. Pitik-pitik lang, di ba? Yun. That's what remapping is. And obviously, if you go NLEX, SLEX, so punta ka ng Subic, punta kung ano, overall, it's a better car to drive. I think we should be able to dyno a Coolray too. Yun, magkakatunog yun. Yeah, next time we can do exhaust on this one, and then again, afterwards we'll put it back on the dyno. Then we'll see how much more. Yeah, we'll tune again. We'll see how much part there. Tsaka lang, mas pangit yung kalsada dito. Pag blue eco mode? Okay. Cool. What sport?
Yung red, yung isa pa po.
Yan, okay. Okay.
Ano to? Makukulit sa
Sa kalsada. Hindi nga niya pinapashift ng maaga. Pag sport. Kasi kanina, pag normal, parang 2 kumakambyo. No? Ngayon, 2.5, hindi pa kumakambyo. So, again, for everybody listening, this button does not control power. This controls the transmission. Actually, nasa manual to eh. Hindi nyo lang binabasa eh. Yes, nasa manual to. Nobody reads the manual anymore. Because that's a question we get all the time. Paano yung driving mode? Does it affect? No, it doesn't because it does not affect the engine. It controls the transmission. Ha? Sige, ito, nasa Lana, Toyota. Ito sa manual, sa page, ganyan. It's under transmission. Then, mawiwindang na lang sila. Transmission? Diretso. Now, we just went around in the big circle. There goes the Mustang. Yeah, after the restaurant here. There you go. Walang coding to, di ba? Meron.
Meron po eh, mild hybrid lang siya.
Okay.
Hindi
Hindi siya full hybrid.
okay. Nakakalusot pa rin. Tinuro ko yung emblem.
Hybrid.
Paniniwala na.
Okay, yun na.
Ito na.
Yeah. Alright, I get off here.
Thank you po.
Enjoy, dude.
Okay.